Oh, what is the FCs, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXWrestleCast. We're on episode 209 of my wrestling recap show, and today we're doing yet another PLE/pay-per-view review. This time we are doing AEW's Double or Nothing. They are in Glendale, Arizona, and this is the home of the finals of the Owen Hart tournament, and we're going to have the men's and women's finals on this card, along with a whole bunch of other stuff, because there's 9 matches on this card, so let's just get into this thing. And we kick it off with the Owen Hart women's finals. It is Mercedes Moné going up against Jamie Hayter. We get into the match. Hayter gets caught in the ropes and gets absolutely ended with a brutal Meteora, and that was just a nasty bump onto the floor. How you done? Jamie catches Moné clean in the face with a thrust kick again. How you done? Jamie slips on the steps. She recovers nicely, gets off the lariat. Moné, mean trifecta of backstabbers into the bank statement. Jamie hits an FU and the sliding Haterade. Moné able to kick out of that. Moné gets planted with a mean tombstone. I believe that was on the floor as well. Moné roll up. Jamie whacks her head on the way down. Not a big deal. Moné gets the 3 and wins the Owen. A physical opening contest right there. Quite a few stiff strikes from both sides. Outstanding performances, again, on both sides. Lots of great counters, hard bumps, couple of slip-ups, but they recovered very nicely, like the slip-up on the stairs. She didn't fuck it up, really. She still got all of that clothesline, so it really didn't hurt the pacing. The couple of slip-ups, but I enjoyed this match quite a lot. Banger level, 8 out of 10. And then we get to the match I'm probably least excited about on this entire card. No offense to Nigel McGuinness, I like him, but Danny Garcia teaming up with Mr. Nigel with Daddy Magic versus FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood with Stokely. So a little backstory, FTR newly becoming heels just a few weeks ago. Thankfully, they needed that change desperately. I cannot stand FTR being baby faces. It was a very, very bland run for them. And, you know, even though they're not, killing it as heels right now, I really don't like the Stokely Hathaway edition. He's not really doing a lot for FTR at all. But, and then, both companies, WWE and AEW, getting their ring announcer, or not their ring announcer, their commentators involved. Pat McAfee in WWE gets in a match with Gunther. It was better than expected, but Nigel at least is a legitimate wrestler, so that's something. I will just say I am just not a fan of Danny Garcia. I think he is so boring. His matches are always the same, and let's see if he can do something different this time. Dax with the thunderous chops to Nigel. Cash hits Nigel with a Tower of London, and then calls Shivani an old fuck. My goodness, that made me giggle, so that's good. Nigel assisted Tower of London with Garcia. Dax able to kick out of that. I mean, damn, dude, isn't a Tower of London a pretty protected finisher? It's badass, but anyway, he kicked out. Dax pushes Nigel out of the way so that he can hit his own partner. A bit of a fuck-up right there. Nigel just didn't move. He was in the way, so Dax forced to push him out of the way so he can hit his own guy. Did not look good at all. Looked very stupid, in fact. Nigel makes Cash say sorry to Tony. Nigel wrecked with a shatter machine on the floor. FTR pile driver, spike pile driver combo. Garcia gets his foot on the ropes. We got a sharpshooter locked in on Garcia. He finally passes out after so long in that hold. FTR grabbed the dub. Long tag team match right there. Went on way too long for my liking. The Garcia formula, all the way there. He just literally I yawned a solid 18 times. Whenever and the weirdest, the second Garcia got out of the ring, my yawn stopped. I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is. Just Garcia's formula is so boring, and he never strays away from it. Gets his ass kicked, little comeback, and rather he wins or he doesn't. This time he doesn't. So Garcia, very sleepy performance. Nigel was solid, FTR quality heel work. I just wanted nothing to do with this match. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Oh, and now we get a pulse. We get a stretcher match. Let's wake everybody back up. We got Ricochet going up against Mark Briscoe. Ricochet bolts back to the ring, avoiding the ambulance. So they were fighting all the way to the back near the ambulance, and Ricochet just runs probably 200 meters all the way back to the ring. And Briscoe is just like, what the fuck, man? I got to slowly walk after you. Made me laugh anyway. Rico misses a shooting star and he crashes onto the stretcher. That was awesome. Great bump. Thumbs up. Briscoe shines up Ricochet's bald head and then brains him with a bucket. I like that. He pulls out cleaning products and everything, sprays up that head, shines it up real nice. I like that. Thumbs up. Ricochet removes the protective padding off of the stretcher and then smashes Briscoe's now very, very bloody head into it. Briscoe blocks the door with a crutch, blasts Rico with the real fake extinguisher. Briscoe nails the J-Driller, then drills Rico with a froggy bow through the table. Looked freaking awesome and very, very painful. Thumbs up. Ricochet stabs Mark with the golden scissors, ambulance scissors, then a dick kick plus the spirit gun. Briscoe put away in the ambulance, doors are closed, and Ricochet wins. Damn, son, that was a brutal battle. Briscoe lost a ton of blood. Holy jumping. Blood everywhere, just pouring all over the stretcher, all over their bodies. There was a ton of blood right there. Violence was on point. They brought out the weapons. There was a little bit of entertainment in there. Ricochet, brilliant selling all throughout, of course. Big spots hit for me. 8.5 out of 10. That's a banger and a half. Let us go to the next match. It is the AEW Tag Team Championships on the line. Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin with the remainder of the Hurt Syndicate defending against the Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes, and Sammy Guevara. Obviously, Hurt Syndicate has just been plowing through all the competition. Whoever's put in front of them gets absolutely destroyed. And then we get, random visits from Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, which is I know they're being used on Ring of Honor, I imagine, a lot. I don't get to watch it, but damn, dude, Sammy Guevara, why is this guy not on Dynamite and on AEW television, way more often? He was one of the more popular guys. He's very entertaining to watch in the ring. Anyway, let's get into it. Bobby flips Sammy into the Dominator. Really cool, just quick little move right there. Just so slick, so clean. I like that, Bobby. Dustin hits Shelton with the unnatural kick. The old kick in the dick. Referee doesn't see it. Then we get a bulldog combo to follow that. We get a near fall. Sammy shooting star to the floor. Dustin crossroads. And we get a second near fall. Max offers Shelton the diamond ring, but Bobby declines to use it. Sammy speared in half. Dustin makes the save. Bobby stops Max from using the ring himself, spears the bejesus out of Dustin through a barricade. That looked like it hurt. Thumbs up. Shelton knee kick with the thrust kick combo. Hurt Syndicate retain yet again. Sons of Texas, I will give them some props. I say they probably gave the champs their toughest challenge yet. A couple of close calls for Hurt Syndicate, actual near falls. I believe that's a first. Max shenanigans, his shady tactics being declined by Bobby. How long is that going to last? Max, bro, you don't need to go there, man. They don't need the diamond ring. Look at the size of them. Look at the size of their opponents. It's under control. So that inevitably is going to cause some friction between Max and Bobby. We'll see how long this MJF Hurt Syndicate relationship lasts. I don't really see it going very long before something happens. Rather, Bobby explodes and they kick out Max, or Max somehow takes over the Hurt Syndicate. Can't really see that happening with MVP being there, but anyway, it was a solid enough match. 6 out of 10. We go to our next championship match. It is the Continental Championship on the line. Okada defending against Speedball Mike Bailey. Bailey hitting the crane kick and the triangle moonsault combo pretty early. And man, that crane kick, he's sitting there, he sets up the crane kick, he's just standing there, and Okada's like, you ain't gonna hit that shit, and then runs right into it. What are you doing? Okada plants Bailey with nasty DDTs. Speedball with the sick counter springboard moonsault. Get the hell out of here. Thumbs up with that shit. Bailey shooting stars into Okada's knees, and they're both hurt. Bayley backflip knee drop on the apron. Gotta be one of the coolest moves out there, man. That backflip knee, so freaking cool. Looks so devastating. Like, that's gotta hurt like hell. Thumbs up. Bayley rocks Okada with a spinning kicks. Referee counts the 3, but Okada had his foot on the ropes. The match continues. Okada drop kicks Bayley out of the sky. Accuracy on point right there. He absolutely nailed it. Thumbs up for that. That is not easy to do. Rainmaker and Okada retains. Banger and a half, if you will. Bayley. My goodness, man. This guy is absolutely insane. I was a big fan of him in TNA, but he's like taking it to an even further level. This guy is just going off right now. Bayley, amazing. Fantastic striking, like everything he does looks so vicious. The backflip knee, the freaking high flying that he's doing. This guy's awesome. Oh man, okay, Okada. Oh, what do I say about it? So smooth. I really enjoyed the finish of this match. They really went all out for it. 8.5 out of 10. Very awesome match. Now, we got the AEW Women's Championship on the line. It's Toni Storm, timeless Toni Storm, if you will, with Luther defending against Mina Shirakawa. Now, interesting backstory behind these two because they were, like, attached at the hip. They were so friendly with each other, sharing a passionate kiss or two. You know, this kind of relationship budding, and then the big turn of Mariah May. But Mina turning on Toni, they never really revisited that. Like, it happened, and then it was that kind of disappeared in like a week or two. And they focused on Mariah and Toni, but Mina would pop by like randomly every now and again, and you're like, okay, are we still touching on this part of the story? And now Mina's back, full on roster member now of AEW. So we are revisiting the story of these two's bad blood. Let's get into it. Mina targeting Toni's knee, causing problems for the champion. Luther protects Toni. Mina kicks him right in the ding-ding. How you doing? He's having a rough night. Mina leaps off of Luther, delivers a twisty splash, and then wipes out Luther. Poor Luther, my goodness. Mina nails the glamorous driver. Toni able to kick out of it. Toni with the brutal hip attack. Holy crap, that thing looked brutal. Mina counters the Storm Zero into a figure 4. Toni gets the ropes, blasts Mina with the headbutt Storm Zero combo to retain. Really good competitive title match right there. Mina looked very strong against Toni. Came in with a good game plan. You know, she attacked Toni's knees before, it was on like Dynamite or whatever. She put in the figure 4 around the ring post, doing the damage, and she targeted the knee smartly, but just wasn't enough to get it done. Some nice counters. I really like the chemistry between these two. Really good match. 7.5 out of 10. And now, Mina and Toni, they share a passionate, friendly smooch with each other. So all looks good. Competitive match. And it seems like they're back being friendly with each other. And I was wondering if Mariah May was going to come out here. She does not. So I don't know how much longer we're going to go without Mariah May returning. Do her thing with Toni. Like, maybe after Mina and Toni, start to rebuild that relationship. Once it gets tight, maybe that's when Mariah May comes back and starts to ruin everything for Toni again. But that's a really played out storyline, right? We did the Mariah May Toni Storm thing. Like, that is played out. They had an amazing finale with the Hollywood ending match. That was unbelievable. So, would they revisit Mariah Toni so soon after such an epic rivalry? I don't know, but what else are you going to do with Mariah May? Like, Toni's the champion, so you kind of would need her to address that, but I don't know. AEW doesn't really follow storylines through all that well, so I wouldn't be shocked if they just completely forget about it. Let us move on. And plug your ears, kids, because, oh shit, it's anarchy in the arena, and I believe his name is Justin Roberts, the announcer. Just became my solidified number 2 all-time with that right there. I absolutely stares that kid down. He's like, plug your ears, and he drops that. So fucking good. All right, so it's the Young Bucks and the Death Riders teaming up together. That's Moxley, Claudio, Mina Shafir, and Yuta. So we got females in this one as well. Versus the team of Omega, Willow Nightingale, Swerve Strickland, Powerhouse Hobbs, Samoa Joe, and Shibata. They're 6-on-6, 12 people, and holy crap. Let's talk about all the costumes that everybody is wearing. So we got Swerve is dressed like Predator. looks good, man. It's a pretty well done outfit. I like Predator, and he was definitely rocking like the Prey look. I don't know if anyone's seen that movie, Prey. It's a spin-off of Predator, and when he took the mask off, he's got that look. Looked awesome, bro. He looks so cool. And then Omega comes out like great value Captain Canada. At first I was like, oh shit, he's coming out as Captain America, and like, no. He wasn't dressed up at all like that. He just had literally a trash can lid with his Omega symbol on it, and I was like, all right, I guess just got great value Captain Canada here, which, okay, that's all good. Death Riders, nothing special. They just enter like all around the arena, all different areas separately, so that was like something. And then the Young Bucks strap in, because they enter this huge like declaration speech. They're dressed as the founding fathers of AEW. Freaking hilarious. They got the little just the little flutes going on there. Freaking hilarious. So thumbs up for them. That was by far the best. And they got like the big old-timey coats on and everything. They wrestle with those coats. That's gotta be hot. Okay, let's get in this match, because it's fucking anarchy. Samoa Joe appears behind Claudio, starting the fight off in the concourse. They go outside, like they're fighting out in the streets and shit. It's friggin' ridiculous. And then out of nowhere, it's not an anarchy match if we don't have some music. And they decide to play I'm So Excited, and I Just Can't Hide It. Fucking hilarious. Kenny Omega's like, what the fuck is going on? And then he starts getting into it. I'm like, oh my god, this is hilarious. And like, man, did we ever need like just a little bit of comedy palate cleansing right here? Perfectly timed. I'm dying. Thumbs up for that. Then Kenny cuts the music and he demands that Let the Bodies Hit the Floor starts playing. What the fuck is going on? Now, I will admit, they played that song way too much. I think it was on repeat. Must have replayed like 5 times. And I was like, okay, turn that shit off. We're done, but fucking what a way to start the shit. What a way to start this match off. Friggin' awesome. All right, let's get into some actual wrestling spots. Hobbs hums Yuta off of the balcony onto security down below. Kenny follows it up with a big old moonsault. Like, oh my goodness, thumbs up for that. There's going to be a lot of thumbs up. Mox stabbing Hobbs in the face with a fork. Like, he is just going to town on his forehead. Just, stab. Ridiculous. Blood everywhere. Willow, holy crap, she smashes a bottle on Shafir's head. Like, it's obviously a real fake bottle, but I think Willow, like cut up her hand or something. I didn't get a good look, but it looked like her hand was all bloody. It looked brutal, though. Like, she smashed Shafir, like, right in the face with that thing. Shibata, hard barbed wire wrap kick to Yuta. That's gonna hurt. That's gotta hurt. Willow wrapped to the ring by her ear. So somehow they lock Willow's, like, fucking earring to the ring post, so she's trapped. Bucks with the slingshot leg drop. Kenny through the table. That looks so awesome. Thumbs up for that. Nick swanton bombs off of the stage, puts Hobbs through the table, Jeff Hardy style, but Nick definitely bonked his head on the stage there. Nasty looking impact. He does get up. I don't know, probably concussed, but he gets back up somehow. Swerve delivers a stomp off of a fucking forklift. They bring out a forklift with the pallet and they shoot it up in the air and he goes jumping off of it. Freaking ridiculous. Swerve brings out the staple gun and he starts going on a staple gun spree. Stapling everybody that comes near him. Just oh my goodness. Shafir gets a hold of that staple gun and she staples Swerve's tongue. Like, holy, and like, you can see these staples, like, in the body. Like, they're doing it. It's fucking terrifying. Kenny with the Snapdragon spree. Everybody getting hit. Even Shafir gets hit with a Snapdragon. I call them Snaggins. Hook appears out of nowhere just to whack Claudio with a golf club, and he leaves. So, I guess that's revenge gotten. And here comes Gabe Kidd. He helps Death Riders, hitting everybody with the briefcase. Boo. Omega gets a mouthful of thumbtacks. He takes an EVP trigger. Holy shit. Briscoe, he comes out. He's still just covered in blood from earlier. He leaps off of the stage, starts fighting with Kidd. Holy shit. That's a thumbs up. Death Riders get locked in the ambulance. They can't get out. Everyone, like Hobbs and everyone's just blocking the door so they can't get out. It's the Young Bucks left alone in the ring. Nick gets ended. Absolutely ended with a one-winged angel off of the stage through a table, which explodes. The table just explodes. Bunch of electricity and shit. What the fuck? These people are dead. Thumbs up. Swerve delivers a thumbtack stomp to Matthew, pins and wins. My goodness. That was stupidly entertaining. Especially the music spots at the beginning. That was just absolutely out of control. So many spots and bumps, man. So many thumbs up given out. Lots of laughs being had. And shockingly, the pacing was actually quite good. Getting from spot to spot, they have struggled with that before. They did at the beginning have like the 4 separate screens so you could see like the action going on in different spots. They couldn't get it all. They did miss a thing or two. They did get it back on replays, but I thought this match was actually very well paced. I thought it was going to be an absolute mess, which it was, but it was like a controlled, chaotic mess. Like they knew where they were going. They knew what spots they had to get to, and I thought they got to every spot really well. Didn't really see any fuck-ups that I noticed, so I was very, very impressed with how they got through this match, considering how many spots there were and how many, spots, how many different locations they had to be at. Like, I was blown away at how they got all those spots done. The music, I will say it played, the bodies hit the floor, it played on for way too long. Like, 2 replays would have been fine. I would have been fine with 1, just get the crowd going. It was awesome, but just too long. But the match absolutely lives up to the name. Anarchy in the arena. That's exactly what it was. Highly entertaining. Lots of big bumps. 9 out of 10. Fuck it. All right. Now we get to the match that I thought we were getting to the main event. And they're like, no, we got a trios match up next. I'm like, I really got match fatigue at this point of the show. We're about 3 fucking hours in here. I watched the TNA pay-per-view, Saturday night's main event, Battleground, and this pay-per-view all in one weekend, man. Like, there was just way too much wrestling for one weekend, but holy crap. All right, let's get to this trios match. It's Takeshita, Alexander, and Fletcher of the Don Callis family with the Don Callis family versus Paragon, O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole, baby. Callis with the cheap shot to Roddy. That really riles up the crowd. Don Callis family, big combo on Adam, topped with a super power bomb. Cole hits Fletcher with the Panama Sunrise on the floor. How you doing? Takeshita brains O'Reilly with a forearm into a brutal Fletcher brainbuster, and the Don Callis family win. Solid match. Really nothing special to this one. It just felt like your kind of typical Dynamite matchup right here. The usual Don Callis family shenaniganery, and yeah, it was fine. 6 out of 10. And just like on Dynamite, the Don Callis family attack after the match, and it's Ishii, Brody, they get a big pop when they come out, but then another guy comes out. It's Tanahashi, the legendary New Japan wrestler. He appears as well. They whoop some ass, chasing away that no good Don Callis family. So that's teasing the up-and-coming Forbidden Door. So you're going to start seeing the big names from New Japan starting to appear. You got Ishii here. You got Tanahashi. Who else are we going to see? Well, I'm the usual suspects. You know what I'm saying? All right, we move on now. It is main event time. It is the men's Owen Cup Finals. It's Will Ospreay versus Hangman Adam Page. And these two have had some interesting interactions on their way up to this match. They're kind of playing like we're friends, but we're not friends. Like, obviously, we got a big competitive match to deal with right here, so, like, I'm gonna kick your ass, you're gonna kick my ass, no problem, but after this, like, we got bigger fish to fry. We gotta take out the Don Callis family, we gotta work together to make AEW great again, so on and so forth. So it's a competitive, competitive rivalry. I don't think there's some bad blood for sure, but I think they want to be friends after this. But let's get into this match. Ospreay smashed hard into the barricade, just really beginning the targeting of his lower back. Ospreay with the lovely backflip splash over the ropes just makes it look so freaking easy, it's not fair. Hangman with the sweet buckshot from the turnbuckle, really like that one. Just front flip from the turnbuckle, bam! Nails that buckshot, beautifully done, thumbs up. Page pays homage to Christopher Daniels, pulling out the angel wings, but he misses the BME and gets rocked with a vicious hidden blade. And oh man, those hidden blades are hitting hard tonight. Ospreay Styles clash off of the freaking apron. Oh my god, that was so scary. Hangman tucks his head inward, which is the big no-no when you take the Styles clash. Thankfully, he gets his hands out and he blocks his head from getting spiked into the ground. That was scary as hell, but thumbs up. Everyone's okay. Will hits an Oz Cutter. Another nasty hidden blade combo. Page able to kick out. Both men on the table. Hangman attempts a Deadeye, but the table implodes, and we get a scary looking bump right there as well. I get reminded of, Triple H, Kurt Angle. They go for the pedigree, the table implodes, and Angle gets his face caved in and is very not okay, very concussed. Thankfully, that doesn't happen here. Again, everyone's okay. Hangman, well, okay enough, you know what I'm saying? Hangman plants Ospreay with a Deadeye on the table remains, so that fucking sucks. Hangman brains Ospreay with a wicked buckshot. We get another close-ass near fall. Ospreay, another vicious hidden blade. We get a Stormbreaker combo. That shit was beautiful. Thumbs up. But Hangman kicks out again. Hangman faints, and he narrowly avoids a hidden blade. That was perfectly timed, man. Like, Ospreay coming from behind, and Hangman just had to guess, man. He just goes down, and he was listening, but that was awesome. Will with the V-trigger, one-winged angel attempt is countered. Hangman JML driver, Ospreay's foot just limps onto the rope. That was awesome. So freaking good. Thumbs up. Hangman lariat hits another buckshot, pins, and Adam Page wins the Hangman Cup. Or not the Hangman Cup, the Owen Cup. Oh, jeez. Awesome match right there. Holy crap. Amazing selling. Absolutely just some of the best out there. Ospreay selling, Hangman selling, so freaking good. And the gas tank on these guys. Holy crap. That must have been a 35-minute long match or something like that, and they were barely sweating. And it's not like they were methodical throughout this match. They were going. Tons of stiffness throughout, lovely counters, nice callbacks to previous rivalries. Christopher Daniels, Kenny Omega, there's a lot to love right here in this match. 9 out of 10. We get the confetti celebration for Hangman, who is presented the Owen Cup title. Page shares a competitive and friendly handshake with Ospreay, and that is the end of the show. We don't get the two cup winners celebrating with each other that we've seen before, but this one makes sense. Monet. It's Monet. She doesn't celebrate with anybody. She's all about herself, and Hangman's Hangman. It's fine. I'm fine with them celebrating on their own. They each get their own separate moment. But I think it would have been nice if they go out to the stage, Hangman and Monet come out, and they do their titles. Maybe have Martha Hart come out, any members of the Hart family come out and have a nice celebration to end the show. We didn't get that this time around, which is a bit of a miss for sure, but still a great way to end the show. Was that? I mean, there was a lot of great matches on this show. Let's wrap it up. So this was a great show with a loaded 9-match card. My only complaint is you definitely could have scrapped the Garcia tag team match, in my opinion. You could have put that on pre-show. That just felt like a very typical Collision, Dynamite, not that special of a match. Didn't need to be there, and it would have helped a lot with the fatigue that I was feeling throughout this pay-per-view at a point. I will give them benefit of the doubt, or not benefit. I'll just give them credit that they did a good job pacing this pay-per-view out for a change. They had the stretcher match in there. That was a nice pace change. They got Anarchy in the arena in a good spot where I was like, all right, you put it in between some similar style matches, and it could have been the main event. I would not have been upset, especially with the way that the match ended with the good guys winning. You would have been fine to end it off with Anarchy, but obviously the prestige that the Owen tournament is building, I'm absolutely fine with that ending it off. But again, would have been a much better situation if you had that big confetti celebration with the Hart family and both the champions. Get a big moment there. Make it a big thing. So I think they could have done more to make that a bigger moment. Other than that, both of the Owens final matches lived up to the hype for me. The big fucking matches, man. Those were big matches, and they both lived up. Anarchy provided a much-needed palate cleanser, super entertaining and violent. The stretcher match was bloody awesome. Like that, I'm not going to say it was a very good match. It didn't steal the show, but it was freaking awesome, and I really enjoyed that one. Good crowd. They were energetic throughout. Overall, I'm going to give the pay-per-view an 8.5 out of 10. We're early in the year, but that's the highest rated pay-per-view to date so far. And AEW is good at that, man. They have a really good track record with me and their pay-per-views. My only consistent complaint with them is that there's just generally too many matches on one card. And another consistent problem is with WWE not having enough matches on their pay-per-view cards. So again, there is a happy medium where I think like 7 matches on a pay-per-view is probably your perfect number. AEW pushes it to like 9 or 10, WWE half that, like 5, sometimes less. So yeah, I don't feel like you get your money's worth out of a WWE pay-per-view with that little amount of matches, but AEW, you definitely get your money's worth out of an AEW show. They give you a lot of wrestling, lots of memorable matches, lots of blood, and really memorable moments. This is a great pay-per-view for AEW, and let me know what you think of the pay-per-view. What was your favorite match? Oh, it's a tough one. That's a tough one for me. I really got a kick out of Anarchy this time around. It was just delightful. It was the comedy. They were not afraid to get with the comedy. I'm so excited. Like that was phenomenal. I love that they weren't afraid to get funny with it and then turn on the violence and start hitting huge spots. I love the variety of that match. So I think I'm going to give the edge to Anarchy in the Arena. That match was fucking awesome. Tons of big spots. But close call with Ospreay and Hangman. That match was also excellent. Shout out to Hayter and Monet and the stretcher match. All fantastic matches right there. Yeah, so if you don't have time to watch the whole entire pay-per-view, which I don't blame you, stop in for Anarchy, stop in for the Owen Cup tournaments. If you got time, check out that stretcher match because they were awesome. But again, let me know what your favorite matches were. Least favorite, Danny Garcia. Just do not like watching that guy's wrestling matches. They're super sleepy, super boring to me. But outside of that, great pay-per-view, and looking forward to all the other pay-per-views that are going to be coming from AEW this year. They're always really good. So there we go, everybody. Another review down. Sorry it's late, but better late than never, I always say. But I didn't even get this pay-per-view done until yesterday. So there was a lot of viewing. So sorry it took so long, but here it is. And I hope you enjoyed the review in terms of what else we got going on with the podcast right now, aside from a buttload of PLE pay-per-view reviews for wrestling. I did a review on Oblivion / retrospective on that, so you can go check out that one on the GamerCast. HockeyCast, I did a little bit of a shorter one this week, just I didn't get into my off-season stuff yet, so I just did the latest news and what's happenings in the third round and around the NHL, but got a good 50-minute episode out of it, so there was a good amount of stuff to talk about, but hopefully next week I can get into the off-season stuff, where I can start breaking down all the teams, look at their prospect, cap space, things that they want to do, start getting that done in the off-season here. And the next GamerCast, we're doing Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Oh, buddy, got to talk about that game. Absolutely deserves an episode, so be on the lookout for that one this week. I should be getting that out on Friday, tomorrow, so be on the lookout for Claire Expedition 33. The next GamerCast, I do not know 100% what it's going to be, but it will be something, so be on the lookout for that as well. I upload all these episodes to the YouTube channel, GamerGX Videos. Go over there, subscribe, please and thank you. And you can drop a comment. Drop comments on Spotify if you want a question answered live on the podcast. Anything about wrestling, video games, or hockey would be preferred. Drop a comment on Spotify. I got a Twitter page. I try my best to put up announcements and all that good stuff. And of course, the YouTube channel. Drop a comment there, and I will answer your question live. I would love that. And what else we got? I think that's it. I think that's everything. So there we go, everybody. One more time, you are awesome. You want to be even more awesome, just make sure you're reviewing and sharing the podcast around with a few friends, maybe an enemy or two, and that would help me out a lot. So there we go, everybody. We'll be back again with some more GX Plus Cast.